If you want to work on Google Cloud Platform by writing your code in Python on it to solve your tasks, there are 5 very simple, very easy steps that you need to perform. Let's look at these steps. So the first step is to install the latest version of Python, and then you will create a virtual environment, which is optional, by the way, and then install your favorite Python editor. Afterwards, the most important one, install the Google Cloud SDK, and then any third-party libraries that you need for your task, you can install that. So let's look at these steps one by one. If you don't know how to install the latest version of Python, I have another video on it, how to do that. I'll paste the link below. And the second step, creating the virtual environment, is optional, but it depends on you. If you want to do it, you can do it, and I have explained how to do it in this video in detail. The third step is again optional. If you don't want any Python editor, you already have a default editor, IDLE, that comes with Python. Once you install Python, you will get that automatically. You can use that. And the most important step is to install Google Cloud SDK, and I'll show you how to do that. And then any other library, if you want, you can install that. Okay, let's quickly start. Now in this next step, I'm creating a service account through this button, through which I will create the service keys, which I will use while coding on my local machine. So if someone else in your company or the teacher in your class is managing this, they will give you the service keys with different permissions in it. And you can skip this step, that is, skip the next 1 minute of this video. Otherwise, you have to do this. So first of all, go to the console.cloud.google.com and then create your account there first. I have made my account here, and then I created a project named as my first project, which you can see above. So then go to the service accounts and create a service account here, like I'm doing here just now. I have chosen the role as editor here, as you can see, and then press continue and then done. Your account is created. You can create multiple service accounts if you want. By the way, I signed in with my personal email address here, as you can see. Okay, now let's create the key. So you can see that there are no keys created yet for this service account. Go to the actions and then press manage keys, and from here we can create the key. It's taking some time. Okay, so click add key and then create new key. You have to choose JSON, obviously, that's better, and then create. By the way, never ever give this key to anyone else. It's not safe. So that's it. Okay, let's move on to the next step. So I clicked on Google Cloud Platform, and then I went to Cloud Storage browser. From here, this is my bucket. You can create your own bucket from this button. So we went into the bucket. I have uploaded a file here. This is basically a small data set. It's going to load here. Yeah, so this is a small data set that I downloaded from Kaggle. You can put any CSV file here or any other file here. So I just put it here. What I'm going to do is write a Python script which will access this particular file. It will download it. We will process it. We will do some operation on it. And after that, we will upload the resultant file, the result data set or whatever it is. We will upload that back here in this bucket, right? So let's do that. Let's see how to do it. So basically, step number 1 was to get a service key, right? Step number 2 was to create a bucket and upload a file manually in that bucket, which we just did, right? So step number 3 is I downloaded and installed Google Cloud SDK. For that, you can go to this page. I'll paste the link below. So you can go there, and if I click here, this is Google Cloud SDK. So I just installed it. I have already installed it, so I'm not going to install it again. So just download it and install it, and once it's installed, you'll get a shell like this. So this is basically Google Cloud SDK shell. This is what I have. And this was step number 3, right? After this, what I have to do is, this is basically optional. So this is the folder where I'm gonna do my code, where my files are present. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a virtual environment right here using this shell. I'm gonna do that, but this is optional. So if you don't want to make a virtual environment, that's fine. You can just install all the libraries directly into Python. if that's okay, if that's not a problem for you, it's fine, you can go do that. But if you're managing large projects and working on that, it's good to have virtual environments for each project. Anyway, we're not going to go into the details of that. I'm going to make a virtual environment here. And one more thing, you can always go to this documentation here. I'm going to paste this link as well. It will tell you how to set up your Python development environment to access the Google storage, right, which we are just going to access. So I basically followed this to do to set up my environment, right? These are all the steps to create a virtual environment. Let's create this virtual environment. So first of all, we need to go inside this folder and this path. Let's go there first. So this is the folder, and let's name our virtual environment. Let's create it with this command first, -m, then I have to write v and v. This is basically the command right here. And env is the name of the folder in which you want to create your virtual environment, the name of your virtual environment basically. So let's name this environment tutorial. Or let's name it my VNV, my ENV, my environment. I'm just naming it differently from this so that you know that it's not just a keyword, it's the name. You can write whatever you want here. So let's press enter. It must create a folder here. See, this is my virtual environment. It has created the folder and it's still creating the virtual environment. It's still setting it up. Let's wait for it, and then we'll just activate it using this command here. Like this. Okay, to activate it, use this command, and instead of env, obviously we will write my env, right? And scripts, and then activate. So basically you can press tab and you can just write, let's say 2 or 3 letters and press tab. It will complete that for you. And now it's activated. You can see here we are inside the virtual environment, and to get out of here we can just write deactivate, right? Okay, before getting out, obviously we have to do some work, and first thing first, we have to install the Google Cloud Storage library. Why? Because we want to access the bucket which I showed you earlier, and that bucket is basically present inside the Google Cloud Storage. So just install it, press enter. It's going to do some installation and all the dependencies and everything. So I'll paste this link in the description below. Anyway, okay, it's still working. Okay, the next thing is I have to create a Python file on my system, right? Okay, it's done. The next thing is to create a Python file on my system. Where is this? Yeah, it's here. So I have created this empty Python file on a local file on your system. You don't have to do anything on the cloud right now. We're not doing anything on the cloud. We just created a bucket and uploaded a file there on the cloud, and everything else, the rest of the things are done here locally on your machine. All right, let's start coding. Okay, first of all, let's import the libraries that we will need. Okay, you might need JSON as well, and OS. What else? Yeah, obviously pandas. And by the way, I haven't installed pandas in this virtual environment. I have to do that as well, right? And I don't remember anything else. If we need something else, we'll just import it later on. Okay, the first thing is to get the service key, this service key here. For that, let's create a path variable, os.path.join, and os dot get the current working directory and concatenate it with our service key. So we just have to name it. Basically, this is the name of this file here, service key.json, and that's it. Let's set this path as an environment. Okay, it's environment. I wrote the wrong spelling. Basically, it's just still here, environ, whatever. So you have to write all caps Google underscore application underscore credentials, right? That's it, and equals to path. That's it. Now, okay, let's do one more thing before writing the code. We have to install pandas as well, so let's do that. It's gonna run in the background and we'll keep writing our code. I think that this was it, right? Okay, it's installing. So let's write the rest of the code. Okay, the next thing is we have to create a client variable, right? A storage client variable basically. So I'm gonna name it storage underscore client equals to storage dot client. Sorry, so it's just client. It's storage dot client, and then we just give it the path, right? So here we have created a client variable. Now we have to access the bucket. So for that we have to name the bucket, obviously, right? So let's say bucket equals to storage underscore client, basically this variable, dot get bucket. It has a function get bucket, and we're going to name the bucket that we made. So the name of the bucket was UMQ bucket. Remember, its name was, this was the name. And now we have this bucket in this variable, so we can read it. So let's, the first operation that we should do, let's first of all read the contents of this bucket and then we'll download the file. So let's do that first. So file equals to file name dot name, file name, and let's make a list of, so basically this function bucket dot list underscore blobs, basically this function is gonna return us the names, right? I will do one more thing. Prefix equals to yeah, that's right. And then we'll just print files present here are, let's say, file name. Let's run this script and see if it prints what we want, if it prints the data inside the bucket. Let's do that first and then we'll write the rest of the code. So I'm going to save it, and then let's see if this scripts run. If this script runs, sorry. Okay, so what's the name of my file? GCS tutorial. Hi, GCS tutorial. Let's run it. Let's see what happens. Okay, invalid syntax. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, okay. I didn't put it in. Basically, I'm making a list here, right? So I had to do this. This is just a Python syntax. I'm gonna save it, and you'll see this circular dot or a circle, whatever it is, it's gonna disappear. So I pressed Ctrl S and it disappeared. Okay, let's run it again. What did I do? Oh, okay, such a stupid mistake. I basically saved it in this list and I wrote file name here. My bad. So it should run now. Hopefully I haven't done any other mistake. Okay, awesome. So we have fetched the bucket, and these are the two files that are present in the bucket. Basically one file and one folder, so it has listed them down here. That means accessing the bucket went fine, right? Now let's do the rest of the code. Easy. Okay, first of all, let's read our file or download it. Read or download, whatever you want to call it. Let's say get our file. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna make a blob equals to bucket dot blob. It's a function. Okay. Blob. Let's say blob name equals to. Okay, what is the name of my file? The name was 2020 underscore Olympics. Try the name right. Dataset dot CSV. This is the name basically, and we saw it earlier as well. This one here, right? I just copied it to make sure I didn't make any mistake in the spelling. Anyway, so I wrote the name here, and then you have this function download as string. Download as string. So this function, and then we're gonna write with open. So basically what we are doing is we are downloading it as a string, and then we are writing it in another file. So you can name the file, let's call it local underscore dataset. We are saving it in a local file, local, which is present there on our machine, local underscore dataset. And we're gonna use this mode. F dot write, so it's gonna write everything here in this blob. Whatever is coming here in this blob, it's gonna write it in the file, right? So we have just, this is nothing, this is just the syntax of Python for, we have opened a file in WB mode, and we're just writing in the file whatever is coming from this blob, whatever has come from this blob, right? So we've written that here. Okay, let's run it first, and let's see if the file is saved on the system or not. What should we do? Should we write the rest of the code? Let's run it first. Looks like there is no error. Good. And there you go. There is your dataset, right? We have downloaded it successfully. This is the dataset basically. Okay, let's get back to our file. All right, so we have downloaded the dataset. Let's process it, and let's say we wanna what should we do? What should be the process? So these are the column names. Let's say we only wanna see the rows whose gender is female, or let's say whose age is greater than a certain number, right? Let's do that. Let's open this local file and a variable named as data. So pd.read CSV, you must have used this function before. If you have ever worked on pandas or with Excel files or CSV files. So the name of our file is local dataset.csv, and let's open it. And after opening, we can perform some operations on it, and let's save the result of those operations in result data equals to. So we can basically write data, and then we can say only get those rows whose gender, the value of whose gender column equals to female. And we also want, okay, basically I think I have to put it in a bracket. Okay, so we also want the data of, what was the name of the column age? Was it capital? Yeah, capital AGE. So we want the values of from age column which are, let's say, greater than, let's say, 30, right? So we only need these values, and that's it. Have I closed all the brackets? I think so. Alright, let's see how many rows did we get this way. Print. This is just for our satisfaction, just to see what's happening. Okay, so the total rows satisfying our conditions are result data dot shape, and let's see how many rows. Okay, let's run it and see what happens, and then we will upload the file back to the bucket. I'm gonna save it and let's run it again. It's taking so long. Why are we downloading the file again and again? We can comment out that part. This part here, we should comment it out because we have the file. We have downloaded the file now. What's taking so long? What is wrong? We did something wrong, I think. Doesn't look wrong. Okay, what happened? PD. Why? Oh, import pandas as PD. Why did I not write that? My bad. So also I'm gonna comment out this code because we have already downloaded the file once and we don't want to do that again and again. We already have this saved in our local dataset file, so it's just taking more time. So we'll just open the local dataset, which you can see here as well, which we actually downloaded from this code, and we'll just perform our operations on it. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to run the code. Okay, what did we do now? Oh, so I have encountered this error before. It basically says that this file is an UTF-8 and we don't want that. So I don't know, it sometimes happens, and the fix was for this issue. This is basically a very horrible error. I don't know why. You just see it and you don't know what to do. So basically the fix that I applied, the fix is that when you are opening this file here using the read CSV function, you tell it the encoding is not UTF-8 but it's Latin one. You open it in this encoding, basically. That's what that's all about. So just open it in this and hopefully you won't get the error. Let's do it again and let's see. Okay, good, cool. So total rows satisfying our conditions are 1399. Basically the total rows in the data set were, okay, so there's no, like they are around 15,000, right? Yeah, so good, it's working. Now let's just save this result data, this one, back on the server, on the cloud, in the bucket, right? Okay, so to do that, what we have to do is, first of all, save this result data into a CSV file. So for that we will write result data dot to underscore CSV, and then let's name this CSV as our result. Let's call it our result dot CSV. That's it. And index equals to false. And let's upload it back to the cloud. So this is the code for uploading to the cloud. What you basically have to do is make a variable load file equals to, first of all we need the path. So this is basically the path of this file, right? So to make the path, we can write os.path.join, the same thing we did before in the service key. Here you see that. So we're just basically concatenating the paths. So the path of the current directory, basically we need the whole path, that's the gist. So get current working directory and concatenate that path to this one, to our file name. What's our file name? This is our file name. Basically concatenate it to this, right? So this is now the complete path of this file, our result file. Now we have the bucket in which we want to upload here in this variable. This is the bucket and we have it here in this variable bucket. So basically what we will do is blob, we will make a blob equals to bucket dot blob, and here we will write the name of the file with which we want to upload it. So basically this is the file on our local machine, and whatever you write here will be the name of the file which will be uploaded to the cloud, right? They both can be same or not, it's your choice. So I'm going to keep it same, our result.csv, and we will just upload this blob. And where to upload it from? Upload from file, and the name of the file is this one. This file, this is the complete path. So we are basically writing the complete path. So that's it. This is the entire code, very simple. Let's save and check if it is uploaded or not. Let's make a print, put a print variable here that says it's uploaded, and we'll basically go and check on our bucket on the Google Cloud if it's uploaded or not. This print just means that we have reached till this line. You must know how Python works, right? So this just means that we will actually go and check, cross-check on the Google Cloud to see if this file is uploaded or not. Let's save it and let's run. That's it. Hopefully it's uploaded. Let's go and see that. So this is my bucket. Let's refresh the page and see if our file is uploaded here or not. There you go. That's our file, our result.csv. So that's it. We have done it. So this was it, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I hope it was clear. When I first started doing it, I didn't know anything about Google Cloud, and I was so confused at the start where to run my code. That's such a stupid and such a simple basic thing which I couldn't understand, that where to write the code, because I was thinking maybe I have to write it somewhere on the Google Cloud or somewhere there, and basically you do write code there. And I saw different videos and I got confused. So there are two ways basically you can write the code on Google Cloud as well as on your local machine. You can access it both ways. Let's not go into the depth of that. Anyway, for starters, it is a good way to just install the SDK and write the code on your machine. That's it. Just like you write a simple Python script. Oh, and one last thing, before you quit it, you should deactivate your environment like this. Press enter, and now you can see this has disappeared. So the environment, the virtual environment is deactivated now. So just close it now. Hopefully it was useful. Let me know.